Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Bismarck. I know, it's crazy. Spartan playing the Bismarck in a video, not even on stream being forced to play it. Nope, he just decided today was the day that he jumps in the Bismarck and decides to play it. So, what is this about? Well, you know, sometimes I like to mix things up. You guys know me. I like to play a little bit of everything. We've been kind of playing a lot of the same ships with Montana and Kansas and, you know, all of that lately, and Shima, obviously. So, trying to jump in and mix it up a little bit. Keep things fresh. And how do you keep things fresh? Well, you play ships that you can't stand. And so I jumped in the Bismarck, and I was like, hey, let's give this thing a go. They recently updated the secondaries, so you can do a thing with it, and we're not going to use that thing, because why would I? You don't want to do that unless you absolutely have to. This match is going to be the epitome of everything that can go wrong going wrong. But we're going to rise above. And not only that, we're going to do something special. So hopefully you guys are ready. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Now you'll notice this camo. I gotta say, this camo is sexy. The green like flames or smoke coming off of it, I can take it or leave it. But the camo itself is pretty dang sexy. Hello, Belfast. Let's see, you're going into your smoke screen, you're slowing down, and it looks like you're coming to a stop. I'm not gonna lie. I should have fired a little further forward, anticipating him to coast a little bit. British cruisers don't stop the best. But it doesn't matter. We only get one penetration, or one overpin on him, which is awful. And this is the moment where everything goes wrong. We've been spotted by the planes for a little while, which means everybody is ready to shoot me. And I am going to do the dumbest possible thing that I could do here, which is realize that everybody's about to shoot me, and just do what I'm about to do anyway, which is turn full broadside in front of everybody on the enemy team. And that Massachusetts just blapped me so freaking hard. And he's not alone. Bismarck shot at me, double fired me immediately. We got a Cleveland over there. We got the freaking Massachusetts here. We're trying to turn away. The secondaries are dacking away. We've got shells coming in from long range on the left side. We've got shells coming back in from the Bismarck and the Massachusetts. We have lost 3/4 of our hit points in all of 2 minutes. Yeah. This is what you call not preferable. This is not the start that I envisioned when I said, let's jump in the Bismarck and see what we can do. Now, we are on what could be considered one of the most perfect maps for the Bismarck. There are plenty of avenues of approach that allows you to close the distance without necessarily leaving yourself wide open for everybody to focus. However, we are going to struggle in the sense of getting close, because there's just not a chance for us to push, and you'll see why pretty quickly. You got a Massachusetts over here, and this guy's going to survive pretty much the entire match. We got the Cleveland, who just yeeted himself into oblivion. Again, you play around in a ship like the Cleveland, you pray to God that you get overpins, and it just does not happen. There you see the Bismarck being a Bismarck, which is it just flat out missing. Now remember, we run a dispersion secondary hybrid. We are running the Hyde build on this thing. Now, the one difference from previous attempts in the Bismarck and this is that we're actually running Porcupine instead of Aladad. And the main reason is because I wanted to take a little bit more advantage of the secondaries, and Porcupine allows that as I derp the shot into the island, because I'm an absolute potato. As if I haven't shown you guys that I'm a potato up to this point. Now, because we're running Hyde, we do have the Master Mechanic ability and have 5 heals. We're going to use all of them, trying to get us some hit points back in this one. But you're going to see that we're going to take some shots at really long range that you just wouldn't get out of a normal secondary build Bismarck. But because you have Hyde in the secondary, like, hybrid build, we can actually hit out to 18 plus kilometers. And while it's not the most accurate ship in the world, and it doesn't have the most or the best penetration angles, they have buffed the penetration angles quite a bit, meaning you don't necessarily have to run you don't have to run Aladad anymore. You probably should, because it does increase your penetration angles even better, and that's always going to be a good thing in a ship that struggles with accuracy. Being able to get those penetrations on steeper angled ships is always a good thing. But it's definitely no American battleship, and we're showcasing the accuracy in this one, just not good. It's better than it used to be, but it's still not. That was my fault. I used auto-aim there, and it was just short. So that's not the Bismarck's fault, even though the dispersion still wasn't good. We almost hit him because of the bad dispersion of the Bismarck. But here you're about to see that I'm in trouble once again. I was thinking about pushing in because we had an Ochakov there that was taking some beating. But unfortunately, Ochakov gets wiped out pretty quickly. And now I'm in a bad way because I am now broadside in front of all three of these battleships once again. Not preferable. So we got to turn out. We got to try to get ourselves into a kiting position, and we've got to adjust what we're doing here. This is just not working. Beating your head against the wall and hoping that something changes is just not a good strategy. It just isn't. But we're going to get some little bit of help from our carrier. We're also going to be attacked by the enemy carrier for the rest of this match, and something crazy is going to happen, guys. Bismarck is going to shoot down planes. I know, it's crazy. Didn't happen in real life, but somehow it happens in the video game. And I've never actually seen a Bismarck get clear skies before, but you're going to see one today. And I think the main reason is because, I mean, it's a Russian carrier against us. So he's attacking with full squadrons, and he's just not very good. But you can see we're getting punched by this Richelieu. We do have a saturated superstructure. We're trying to kite away. And you'll see that I've already switched over to using HE. Why is this? Well, it's a Richelieu. I have poor penetration angles. My AP is basically useless against that thing. So switching to HE is actually the right choice here. I don't always recommend switching to HE, but when it is your best choice, it just makes sense to do it. Now, he's got a fire burning. In fact, I think he's got 2 fires burning. Our cruiser doing a pretty good job, other than the fact that our cruiser is literally freaking point blank with a battleship. But the Z-23 manages to dev strike the Georgia, who was focusing me, which is huge. Huge! And while we haven't done a whole lot up to this point, we are still alive, and we are still healing, and we have used 4 of our 5 heals in this match, as our Eastern Dragon goes down to the Richelieu. But manages to torp the Bismarck, which is another huge play. Again, while I don't recommend it, what the Eastern Dragon did was beautiful. Because at the end of the day, that is going to help us in the long run. Getting that battleship out of here is huge. But that still leaves me to fight a Richelieu, and I have 26,000 hit points. Now, we are very similar in health at this point. I think he's got me beat on health by about 10,000 hit points or so. But we are going to be trying to get fires, and of course I fire HE at him. I hit probably his turret. Didn't get very many hits in general, and we just didn't get a fire. But we're in secondary range now, and we're going to pop that secondary reload booster. Why? Because reasons. We need fires now. And we need accuracy out of our secondaries, which you guys know isn't really a thing out of the German secondaries. They're like a glorified fireworks show. But you can see we do get a fire with the front, or with the guns, the main guns, and then the Richelieu actually takes a nasty pounding from either the destroyer or the carrier. I couldn't see who. Somebody punched him, and our secondaries are doing their thing too, because HE pretty nasty against the freaking Richelieu. And remember, we have a lot of 152 millimeter HE cannons. They're pretty nasty. Okay, it's like having a couple light cruisers shooting at you. It's not a joke when they hit you. But he's over-angled, and our Iowa manages to punch him in the mouth. Now, our Iowa, I don't want to talk about what this man has done for the match. He just, I can't do it. But I understand why he's where he is. He's overmatched against a Massachusetts, a Belfast, and a destroyer. Okay? I cannot say what he's done up to this point, but he did help get rid of the Richelieu, which is huge. And now we've got to try to get ourselves into the A cap and help get this cap. Now, I can't afford to turn broadside to this Massachusetts right now, so we wait for him to shoot. We're angled in as best we can. He's going to hit us for some damage because American armor piercing. And then we start our turnout. Now, we're about to be loaded with the front guns. We're going to get that shot off. We're getting hit with skip bombs. Thank God they don't do a whole lot of damage. If the skip bombs actually did a lot of damage rather than just being a fire chance, like, the skip bombs could be nasty. But thank God they don't. They're basically just fire chance. It's not really a lot of damage unless you're a destroyer. But we do get a very good salvo there against the Massachusetts. We don't have a fire going on him at the moment. I think he DC'd a fire. So we're going to try to come around the corner. Again, we've got to stay angled away from him. We can't just give it up to him. We don't want to go broadside and let him punch us for 20k. Okay, we know he's going to actually have an advantage here in terms of the penetration and all of that. So we've got to take it easy. We want to play it smart. You can see Belfast is lobbing over the islands on us. We know there's a destroyer behind us because we were still spotted line of sight while behind that island. It wasn't the plane spotting us. It was line of sight. So we know the destroyer's behind us between me and the Iowa. We take a shot with the HE again at the Massachusetts. The secondary's doing what they do. He gets a disgusting salvo on us and wrecks our superstructure for several thousand damage. And that takes us to a very, very minuscule 10,000 damage. But he is on fire again. And so we've got that going for us. And we set another fire on him. So we have two fires burning on the Massachusetts. One is from us, one is from, I believe, the carrier. The Belfast is an absolutely ridiculously bad shot. I don't know if he's not got the range or if he's just terrible at leading targets, but he's not hitting us. But we're not getting the base capped either. Now, luckily, the destroyer has gotten into the base, and you can see that the carrier is actually spotted right now. Now, I haven't noticed, but I've already shot down 11 planes at this point. We take another shot, this time AP on the angled superstructure of a Massachusetts, and we get a really good result. 5 full penetrations. That's solid. Okay? And then you can see the Pobeda over here trying to torp us, and these slow torps, man, unless you are completely caught off guard, they are absolutely useless. Okay? You have to be an absolute goober not paying attention in order to get torped by a Pobeda. Okay? They are absolutely awful. They have terrible, as we get a close quarters on the frickin' Massachusetts from long range, and then the secondaries start popping off on both sides of the ship. We've got a Z-23 on the right. Obviously, he's the biggest threat to me. I've got to try to shoot him. Screw the carrier. We'll deal with him in a moment. So we are focusing the crap out of this guy. You can see we have the sonar running, even though I know he's not in range for the sonar. We take the shot, we get a hit, and we manage to take him down with the secondaries for our second close quarters expert. And I thought we were about to get a third one here as we are closing the distance on this carrier up close and personal. And there's not a whole lot he can do to us as he gets touched. And unfortunately, the destroyer decides to shoot him and he gets the kill as we could have gotten our third close quarters medal. But don't worry, we do manage to get a clear skies as we shoot down some of the fighters and some of the attack planes that he was sending in our direction. We also helped get an assist cap here. So we've done a lot. And we somehow managed 127,000 damage with 190 secondary hits. This was a ridiculous game. And I gotta say, it was the very first match that I jumped into Bismarck. What does this mean? Does it mean that there was some crazy, thing with the Bismarck today? No. You saw the accuracy I was getting out of the Bismarck. It wasn't anything special. But it just goes to show if you don't throw all of your hit points away. We lost most of our hit points, but we managed to disengage, keep ourselves in the fight, keep ourselves in a position where we can be useful, even though we didn't have the hit points. We took a lot of flack in this one, pardon the pun, and we did everything that we needed to do to make this team secure the win. And we got a lot of help along the ways. So Dreadnought, 2 close quarters, a clear sky, 127,000 damage with 3,000 base XP in a Bismarck. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.